All your base, Chris.
Well, here we go. Do. We have a parcel. A parcel to me. I wonder what it is. Okay, let's see what's in this box. We have a thingy. We have a picture of a handsome man. Lovely. We have some kind of packing material. We have a Mr. Multi-System. And we have the most unpopular box in the world, apparently. So let's see if I can manage this one-handed. Ooh, so pretty. And I don't know if you can see that, but very nice finish on it, actually. Very nice indeed. Blanking plate. I'm part of the Multi-System Owners Club and part of the subset, one of 11 apparently, who ordered this colour. And the multi-system is inside this box, which I am now going to have to pause the video and open. And here we go. Sticker. Got to have a sticker. That is so pretty. Have a look. Lovely. Right, let's get this assembled. Hello, All Your Base Chris's hands again. It's nice to be back. Excuse the hiatus. Today I've got something very special. This is the MMS, the Mr. Multi-System, as created by Neil, Kurt and Haber Electronics, and featured on the RMC YouTube channel. This is a lovely little system designed to consolize the Mr. So you can then put it in a case. I've gone for the white case because I think it reminds me of the old Neo Geo PC Engine type thing. Anyway, let's talk you through how to assemble one. So here's the board itself. It came with this HDMI adapter bridge already installed, which I've taken out because I'll not need it. So to get this running, you essentially need a DE10 Nano, which happens, so I just happen to have one here. Currently out of stock everywhere, but they will be in stock soon. He said, fingers crossed. Not pictured is the manual, because you're going to need this. So I am now currently over, let's see, I've already unboxed it. Let's check the HDMI switches are in the correct place. Yep, I'm not going to need them for now. Assembly prep. First check that the micro SD card has been removed. Done. Remove the brass studs. Yep, done. Fit the heatsink. I've got one in the box, but I've already got a heatsink on my DE10 Nano, as you can see. That's already on. Real-time clock module can be fitted if desired. I don't have one, so I'm not going to stress about it. Right, all the switches on a DE10 Nano for this board should be set to all down. And now I've used a digital board with this in the past, so I need to adjust these switches here. They all need to be in the down position, which they now are. You will need the 4 plastic posts and 8 small screws for fitting the DE10 Nano. So let's put the Nano down and get our little box of goodness that came in the box. Empty it all out onto the table, like so. If you're new to my channel, this is how I do things in a really slow, dull fashion, so I hope you're into that. So I need to take 4 screws. Are they the long ones or the small ones? 8 small screws. Use 4 small screws to secure the plastic post onto the multi-system board. Do not over tighten, make them secure. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking a small screw. I am turning the board over, gently, gently, putting a screw through it. And then I'm just going to screw the post onto the board. These posts don't appear to have any threading in already, so I'm literally just screwing into the plastic, but you know, whatever, that's life. Do not over tighten, no harm of that. Repeat for the remaining posts. Right, there we go. The posts are on the board. Fit the micro USB and Ethernet cable patch as shown above. How wobbly is that, please? That one's very wobbly. Let me just tighten up a little bit more, In case you're wondering, I'm following along with the incredibly comprehensive user manual that they give you access to. Hold on, let me turn this light on in case it's getting a bit dark. There we go. Ooh, and as if by magic we can now see. It's getting dark outside, it's winter. Winter is coming. Fit the micro USB cable and Ethernet cable. One Ethernet cable, one micro USB, as shown above. So we connect this incredibly long Ethernet cable, as you can see, huge. Connect it into the board, as below. Click. And I mean, on the manual this is white, but I suppose it being black is acceptable because you're not going to see it, and also who cares, right? And that then goes in the USB slot. Give it a little bend, tiny bit fiddly. I wonder if it would make more sense to do the USB cable first. It's a very tight fit, which is good in a way. Right, I'm leaving that in because it feels like I'm forcing it out, so that goes in like so. Again, there are no complaints here about the way the board's designed. It's all compromises to make do with the fact that the DE10 Nano has a strange layout of its own. Okay, so what we've learned here, we've learned put the USB cable in first. That's what we've learned. Because then you can do a bit of wiggling. There we go. Whew. I don't feel like I need to do any exercise today. No, there we go. Yeah, so quick hint, do that cable first, do that one second. Secondly, carefully align the DE10 Nano to the 4 plastic posts and 2 rows of 40 pins. Right, make sure to align it a particular way. Check both sides for correct alignment. Right, so I'm looking at the picture here, and it appears that the SD card faces away. Right. This is the tricky bit. Make sure all of the pins line up nicely, and then a gentle push into the board, like so. Go slow, go slow. Do not bend, do not crack, do not go mental. Keep it steady. Make sure that all of those pins go in nicely so that's flush with the board. Try not to flex the board too much. And of course, all electronics are nice and sharp to make this really pleasant. Okay, so the DE10 Nano is on there now. I wonder if the heatsink's too long. No, there's a gap. That's okay. The corner stands will now align to the DE10 Nano board. Push down gently until it's seated onto the pins and connectors and plastic posts. Yep. And now 4 more screws into the DE10 Nano. Again, being careful not to over tighten. Okay. I think this is more to stop it from flying around than it is to screw it down particularly firmly, because you don't want to over tighten any of this. Over screwing into plastic always has its inherent dangers. Okay. It's actually quite nerve-wracking, this bit. So I've assembled a few different cases for the DE10 Nano. This isn't particularly complicated, but it always benefits to go slow and steady, because these bits aren't cheap and you don't want to have to buy twice. Alright, that's not particularly flush, but it's secure. Okay. Before fitting into the enclosure, there's some selectable bits, RGB sport, RGB. I'm not doing any of that. I'm using HDMI out. Connect the USB and Ethernet cables to the board. Okay, so this is a loop around situation. We are going for this port here, which is there. Well, you can't see it on the Ethernet shield, that one. Make sure it's all connected up nicely. This port is particularly fragile on the DE10 Nano, so you want to be careful with it. And the idea is you loop it across the Ethernet and into the port. I am taking this very steady, as this port is a little bit fragile on the DE10 Nano. Kind of feel like the Ethernet port's in the way here, but again, slow and steady, slow and steady. there. And also I was trying to put it in upside down. Don't do that. And again, with a little loop and a little gentle pressure, I kind of feel like my theatre now is a little bit high up. There we go, there. Like a glove. Right. Carefully bend the cables and positions above and connect the DT nano board. Done. Right, 3D printed enclosure preparation. Right, I'm going to move this aside for now. And we're going to have a quick look at the case. Top lid, I've gone for the one without the SCART port. Let's talk about the fit and finish. It's nice actually. In fact, it's really, really nice, I have to say. Very high quality 3D print. You'll not even be able to see any of the marks. If you look up close, you can see some. And the finish is lovely. The reason I've gone for this particular setup is because it has a space to put in an SSD, which will live inside the top there. Lovely. Right, let's come back to that in a minute. So, do some preparation, check if there's any loose filament. There is not. I mean, they've done a really nice job on cleaning this board up. I don't think we've got anything that'll foul the connection. No. No, no, no. Again, look at that print, it's nice. It says take a good look at the fan mount there, and that's nice and clear, free from obstructions. They've already put the brass studs in. And they say you don't need to worry about any cleanup on the bottom of the case, which there came pre-fitted with that fan. Okay, fitting into the 3D printed enclosure, you'll require the following parts: some screws, some little feet, buttons, red and blue and yellow in my case, and a big chunky reset switch and LED mount, which is this bit here. Fit the two buttons into the base of the enclosure. Right, I'm rotating this to match the pictures on here. The bunch hold in place, we tilt the base on a slight angle. So, looking from the back of the case out, it is blue on the left, yellow on the right. Like that. Oh. Sausage finger strokes again. I'm going to actually do this like this. There we go. Fits like a glove. Now I've lost my place. Right, here we go. Now fit the HDMI bridge board that came with the multi-system. So I'm going to put this down gently in the hope that those buttons don't wander off. Stay. Good. HDMI bridge is this bit here, as you can see. And that lines up nicely with these two ports on the HDMI nanos. Just I say fits together nicely. Might need a little bit of finagling. Right, Houston, we have a problem. The problem I am having is my D10 nano board isn't flush enough. So I'm going to have to tighten up some of these screws a little bit to bring the level of the board down so that those HDMI spaces line up properly. Let's try that again. Learn and process this. There's not many of these about. There, and now that should fit nicely together. Again, go slow to get no prizes for finishing first. I'm going to say that that is fitted nicely. There we go. It will stick out a little bit, apparently. So let's give it a little bit more of a wiggle. Oh no, it will go in just a little bit further. There we go. Nice. We'll soon know if that doesn't work if I get no picture. Push gently and firmly until the bridge is fitted as per the above images. So you should just see poking it out a little bit more. Yep, that looks spot on actually. Take time and care when fitting the multi-system board into the case. Looks like it's time to put it in, so we'll move this across to here for a moment. Let's bring our prize contestant out here. And just ask Mr. Fan to stay out of this. This isn't your fight, Mr. Fan, stay out of it. Fine, whatever. Well, it's only going to go in one way, isn't it? Take time and care. Time and care. Go slow. Buttons fell out. Right, I'm going to do this at an angle because the buttons want to escape and they need to be lined up. So I'm going to hold this slightly at an angle while I do this. Mr. Fan still wants to get involved, but he's going to have to just leave it for now. Steady. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Buttons have escaped again. I'd like to point out that you will see other videos on YouTube of people assembling these, and they'll probably cut out these bits, and they'd be right to. However, out of pure laziness, I'm not going to. I'm going to let you see all of my ineptitude in all of its glory. Steady. Pivot. Pivot. It'll fit, the tolerances are good, it will fit. Just been so careful. There, gentle push and a shove. Is it lined up? Yes it is. Make sure these buttons engage the switches. This they do. Check the USB ports and screw holes are aligned. Yes they are. Push down on the panel as the multi-system board is also pushed down. Oh, this panel. Okay. Right, so this is a problem. It's not a massive problem, but I've gone and half-assed it. Right, so this is the back panel, which needs to slide in. There. Are the buttons still lined up? Yep. Are the screw holes still lined up? Yes. The panel sits into the groove in the base, just here. So it looks like. Right. Okay. Now you connect up the fan to either the 3.3 or 5 volt. I will go 3.3. I've been using Mister for a while. They don't get well, they do get ridiculously hot, but they're also not. There's no real issue with cooling. So I'm going to hook this into the 3.3 van header there. It says unless you live in a very hot country or plan to have it inside a cabinet, 3.3 should be fine. I'm a fan of that. Use the last 4 small screws to fit the multi-system board into the base of the enclosure. Where do I screw them in, from the top or from the bottom? From the top. Small screws. Right, so these are big screws and these are small screws. Right. So the problem we have here is I have very big sausage fingers. Okay, that's in. I'm doing the diagonals. Do the diagonals. It's nothing to do with the fact that I'm worried about interfering with that thermal fuse. That's very nice. That's lovely, in fact. Right, okay. Apologies to anyone actually from Essex. I can't help myself sometimes. I just waffle on in a ridiculous accent. It's not even a good accent. Okay. Oh. Come on. There we go. This screwdriver is very slightly magnetised. Only ever so slightly. Here we go, the final one. Watch out for that thermal fuse. Let's try and... Oh no! Disaster strikes. Sensible people will have a set like a tweezers and stuff. World holds breath as man struggles with screw. Dredge written too much? I wonder how Mark Fix's stuff will do this. He'll probably use Smurf poo when he hold it in. You know, like a real person would. It's alright, I've done it now. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's in. They only need to grip the plastic lightly, which they do. The last two printed parts are the reset switch mount and the red reset switch when placed onto multi-system PCB in the location shown above. It's just here next to the thermal fuse, and that goes on like so. Does it just sit loose? I've put it on upside down. That's the issue, right? So that goes on like so, and then that goes in the hole like that. It says you can find a resting point where the switch operates and the 3 holes line up. I am not sure. Let's give it a quick test run. Bit of in and out, there we go. And there's the switch. I'm not convinced on this one, if I'm honest. Oh no, it's engaging, it's engaged. Calm down, just calm down, Chris, you're getting really stressy. Right, that's now covering the LEDs, and that's on there. Now I can fit the last 2 remaining fan screws into the top half of the enclosure. I'm guessing I need to put the top of the enclosure on. That bit has been missed out on the... well, I can't do that just yet. Yeah, okay. My setup's different, so the rest might be different to all of yours. So I am adding an internal SSD to my build. So I've got one of these. This is an internal USB fan header, which... Now, these connect to... We have a set of 4 pins here, and they correspond to the 4 USB ports here. So I'm just going to scroll down because they talk about this bit in the manual. Scroll down a bit more. Right, there we go. Right, okay. So to add a USB header, junction, so I'm looking for J22, which is where the back USB ports are. That's J20. J22's here. Okay. And you have to line up the red VDC with this side of the facing the Ethernet port. What this does is it overrides the external ports and brings them internally. So in theory, this is supposed to be 5 pin, right? But for some reason, I've only got 4 pins. Which what makes me worry a bit. Why would this have 4 pins and not 5 pins? I actually think that might be for USB on the go. Right, it needs to have ground and shield connected. Okay, I'm not using this because it advises against a 4 pin, so back to the drawing board on that. Alright, never mind, forget that bit. As the idea was to use an SSD internally, which is going to sit nicely in the board here, so. But for now, I think for now we're going to leave that as it is. So let's just do a quick test fitting of. I've managed to move the reset switch here. Let's put that back. Okay, so I'm not screwing this in just yet because I'm going to have to take it apart to put the back on, but I think that looks really nice, don't you? Four-pin connect on-screen cables are available but are not recommended with a multi-system or any USB 2 device. It says don't use unshielded cables. I wonder what will happen if I do. Do you think it'll blow up? It says don't use unscreened cables. I wonder. Right, well I'm not going to. So that's it really. That's how you assemble a multi-meter system. That was pretty easy. I mean, I'm pretty inept and I think I did an okay job of that. So thanks very much. And the next video will be me testing.